Monster Crabs was playing another game before this, so took a little while longer, but they seem to be ready now. Yeah, inviting the teams. Seem to have full teams, so we should be ready to start. Let's go! Monster Crabs are team A, Tox Armada are team B. Hey Bruto. Good luck, have fun. Finding a match. The evil matchmaker from SCMC. There we go, draft phase. Let's see what Parzival decides to ban. Apparently the churn. I'm getting some messages on chat in Vainglory, which I will not be able to answer right now. See what they ban on the B side. For Tox Armada, they seem to ban Anka, which is the pretty standard ban for 3 versus 3 nowadays. I guess Parzival is probably gonna pick Vox. It seems to be the most OP, or Cruel. Cruel also is a pretty OP pick on 3 versus 3. Cruel on A side. Side B seems to be leaning towards Lorelei. Very nice to slow down the enemy team and also give that little barrier with her ultimate. So if you have a hyper carry, this is really very useful. They are running up with a Lance. I wonder to who this is going to be. It's not like Bruto plays every single game he ever plays with Lance. So I'm curious. Mr. Freakon seems to be going for the Arden. Probably in the support role. Let's see what they are going to pick for the lane. Celeste. It's a nice combo. Celeste, Cruel, and Arden. Scarf might be a little bit better, but it depends on their skills, of course, with the hero. Let's see how this works out. Let's see how Team Tox Armada will round up their composition. We're thinking Ringo, maybe Lyra, maybe Adagio. Decisions. Baron, that would be, yeah, that would be a good pick. Baron is a very hyper carry based hero, so very good for 3 versus 3, especially with the help from both Lance and Lorelei. Will be very hard to dive. And it seems that Team Monster Crabs only has one dive hero, which is Cruel, in case you hadn't noticed. So I'm putting my money on Team Tox Armada, but let's see how they play the game. If there's any issues with the stream, like lag or bad sound or something, please let me know on the chat. I would appreciate the effort. Here we go, the Crabs getting ready to fight on the Alcyon Fold versus Tox Armada. It's like Rox Armada, but more toxic, I guess. That makes some sense. Let's take a look at the builds early on. Pretty typical. Bruto doing a little bit of CP and weapon to do a little bit of damage on the early skirmishes. Thank you, Alkaline, for reporting that everything is fine. I appreciate. Much love. Oscuri seems to be trying to steal something, or is he just... No, yeah, he's going for that little health treant. Mr. Freakon is forced to come back. Will he be able to focus it? I don't think so. I think, yeah, Lorelei stole it away. Nice little steal to start the hostilities off. Here comes Bruto and Fino. I'm very surprised that it's Bruto on the Baron and not the Lance. Because if you see 5v5 games, you would think that Bruto only plays Lance. Seen him play support, Lance. Seen him play bottom lane, Lance. When in doubt, pick Lance. farming as usual. Team Toxic or Tox Armada. I probably shouldn't call them toxic. It might not be what it means. Team Tox Armada securing that middle tree end. So nice little head start advantage. Muavid going very low there with that root fish food from Oscary. Seems to be alright. Bruto giving out some rockets to everyone, some mortars as well. I like the party hat. It makes all the difference. It's the next big buff. We used to have summer skin buffs. As we all know, if you have summer skin, you have advantage in the game. And now it's party hats. If you have a party hat, you're probably going to win the game. Bruto and Fino doing this middle tree end. Parzival trying to contest it. I think he got it. Yes, he did. Nice contest from Parzival there. Red team going to recall, reset things as farming continues on the mid lane. Shimwadev also going to recall. Mr. Freakon, he doesn't need to recall. He's an Arden. Ardens last forever. Maybe not. Now he's recalling. Brewer want to share this experience down here with Fino. Help him reach top level faster. Otherwise, pretty standard developments. Let's check out the builds real quick, if anything has... Yeah, Brewer seems to be going for the CP build, not the weapon. And Fino will probably do a mixed CP and weapon lance. So it's going to be an interesting battle. Parzival going for some speed attacks, actually. That's going to be interesting. I would expect the Cruel to be like heavy damage build, like either Tension Bow or Sorrow Blade first item, but he seems to be going for a Breaking Point, maybe. Which I'm not sure if I agree or not, because the problem here with Breaking Point is that you would need to be able to land multiple hits to kill someone to last longer in the team fight, and with the protection that the Lorelei and Lance provides, I'm not sure he will last that long or be able to reach the back lines of Tox Armada that easily. Muvahid, I keep saying Muhavid, I don't know why. Muvahid putting some pressure on this tower while the red team rotates down. Not enough to actually do any damage to the tower. The shop just arrived. So now we're into phase 2 of the game, where you can get some gold miner. Let's follow Celeste for a little bit here. Actually, probably should follow Bruto. He's in the thick of things. That Arden doing a little bit of damage. He didn't build any attack items at all, but Bruto has no defense whatsoever. Ooh, nice ultimate. Barely missing Bruto there. That might have been a kill if it had connected. Fino putting down some vision. Make sure the Cruel doesn't surprise them. Everything seems to be under control. They're rotating back to farm some more of their back jungle camps. So, very competitive start. Both teams holding on very well. Not much of a gold advantage for the red team. No kills yet on the Halcyon Fold. Just gonna miss a little bit of CS there. Oscary screwed up a little bit. Nothing major. Fino and Bruto rotating back. Get that farm. Almost kill Arden. At least force him to pop his flask. Oscary takes the opportunity to clear a little bit of vision. Solar Storm ripping through the Halcyon Fold. Just connects slightly on Oscary. Nothing challenging. Parzival looking for someone. He's gonna try to reach Bruto. I think he will release the ultimate hitting Fino. Not entirely sure there. It's on cooldown, so I think it did throw it and just hit Fino in the face. But as you see, he doesn't have enough burst damage to really get rid of Bruto, even when he manages to reach him. So I think he's going to have a very hard time later on in the game. Red team just farming up. Sorry, I'm cleaning up some windows. Sorry if the game stutters a little bit. Red team rotating back up. Just farming lane. Still have plenty of time until Kraken shows up. Spamming some hits. Here comes Cruel. Final trying to get that Celeste. Lance almost dying out of that. A nice gauntlet from Arden, but no real follow-up from the Cruel. He was still getting his passive on. So they're just gonna back off. Cruel still hanging around, and Oscar is a little bit out of position there. Bruto spamming those mortars, trying to hit something. Core Collapse almost hitting the Bruto. Celeste very low. She's just recalling. Parsifal got a couple of hits, not enough to do any real damage. So just in the trade, a lot of skirmishes going on, but never really managing to get a kill. Final just reaching there to give a little bump on Parsifal. I know you're there, mate. You're hiding in the bushes. I can tell. Crabs will take the opportunity to clear out some of the vision that the red team had laid out. Let's go back to Celeste. Bruto is back on the main lane. Yeah, but the crowd control that both Lorelei and Lance have really are keeping the damage dealers from Crabs away from Bruto, and that's what you want for the whole game. I think red team still has advantage at this point. They're rotating 3-man team back up. Arden is forced to leave the side of that turret. And those mortars from Bruto are starting to do some damage even to those tank heroes. Another one hitting Arden. And the problem is that they leave. Ooh, mortal wound, very close to dying. Celeste doing a ton of damage to Bruto there, but not enough to collapse him. Ooh, nice stun from Final. Catching Arden off guard. And now Monster Crabs are forced to stay behind and just protect that turret. Ultimate from Baron coming, trying to catch someone off guard. Misses Mavid a little bit out of position. He pays for his sins, but the Baron also goes down. So nice trade in the end. Carry for carry. And the Cruel is still alive. Just hanging around, watching what's up. Clearing up some vision. Getting stunned with some fish food. You know, the usual. Oscary will now call back. Cruel cleans up that vision. Bruto stayed back in the jungle to farm up faster in duo with Final. Nice spotting of Cruel, trying to get that back camp there. Final is a bit out of position. He has to rotate back up, rolling over the wall. He's safe. Nice roots on Celeste. Good follow-up from Bruto. That was a clean kill. Arden has to use the gauntlet defensively all the way up. Trying to hit Bruto, but he doesn't really have the damage. And he's going to be on a bad place. Luckily, there was a nice stun from Cruel. Manages to follow up with the A, but not quite finishing it up. And now he's in a very bad place. They finish up Arden. They're going to aggro this turret. Solar Storm ripping through. Hits Bruto in the face, but he had a nice protection from Lorelei, keeping him half health. Failed jump there, but nothing major. Are they daring going for the gold miner? I don't think they are. Oscary is calling back, so that should be it for now. Brew is just farming up like crazy. This is really mostly a hyper carry game. Let's check out the builds real quick before we have any other engage. Bruto has Spellfire, Clockwork, and he's going for Broken Myth apparently. Fino has the double CP and weapon build that we were talking about, leading all the defense items up to Oscuri. We see, yeah, this Cruel, I would expect this Cruel to be more burst oriented and not sustain. So I think that was a bit of a mistake on the build there, but let's see how it plays out. Nice stun from Lance there, pushing people back against the wall. Brutal doing tons of damage. Arden in a very bad spot, and he's dead. Yeah, I think they're in a good position. Nice Solar Storm, but he doesn't have enough damage. The Celeste just doesn't have enough damage to finish anyone off. Bruto steals one more camp. Parsifal can't do anything. He has to run away from the mortars. At least they didn't get the Crystal Sentry. They will get, however, the Gold Miner here. So Team Red, or Team Tox Armada, clearly in the lead at this point. There's still a chance for Monster Crabs to get back in the game. They just need a very good engage. And they should be back in the game. Bruto leaping over the Kraken pit to clear up that lane. Now rotating once again, jumping into a tree. He wants to do the back camps to reach hyper carry mode faster. No camps there. Oh, nice. It's forcing the engage. Lance a bit out of position. Lorelei comes to save. Nice gauntlet from Arden, getting Bruto out of the position, but he manages to come back, jumps, lands the ultimate, and it's going to be a clean sweep for the side of Tox Armada. Things were looking a bit bad for Team Tox Armada for a second there, but Bruto managed to leap back inside the gauntlet of Arden and claim back the good positioning on the team fight. Which was a bit risky if you think of it, because the Cruel was there, but he needed to do the damage. That's his job on the team, is to lay down the damage. If he's not on the team fight, his teammates will die. A bit of a risky positioning here. Decide to go back. Final risking an impale there. Ends up getting the ultimate from Cruel. Brutal laying down the mortars, trying to make the engage disappear. Seems to have worked. Blue team really afraid of engaging under those mortar fires, but I mean, there will always be mortar fires going on. You need to land. The good thing about Monster Crabs is that they have the possibility of chaining the stuns, because all three heroes have stuns in their kit. So if they manage to do that on top of Baron or on top of Lance, for example, to prevent him from defending Baron, they might be able to get a good engage onto Rox Armada and secure a kill on Bruto. Although Final does some good damage as well. What was that? Don't face check bushes. Oh dear. Nice over the wall, blood for blood. Gauntlet very well positioned. Follow up by Cruel with the ultimate. Celeste with the Solar Storm. Not really finding anyone, or hitting everyone, but not finishing them off. Nice re-engage from Bruto now. Arden is dead. Cruel still wants a piece of Bruto. Gets a couple of hits, not enough to kill him off. And this is the lack of burst damage that I was mentioning a while ago. The build of Parzival is more sustain oriented, and he doesn't have a chance to sustain on these team fights because either Bruto jumps away from the fight or Lance stuns him against a wall. So I really think that Parzival's build should have been more focused, either a Sorrow Blade or something more burst oriented. They seem to be having a free Kraken here though, but there is some vision there from the side of the red team, so at least the ultimate should come down. Here it is, the ultimate coming. Will it steal it? No. Nice Kraken. from the side of blue team. They were in a lot of difficulties and they managed to secure this Kraken from the red team while they were recalling. Kraken's already half health though, and it hasn't even left the jungle yet, so this is just free gold for the red team. But better give them free gold than to, you know, give them a team fight with a Kraken push. That might have been a bit more deadlier. It didn't even hit the turret. It's gonna be a very interesting next team fight. It's gonna settle a lot of things. I think Team Red, if they have a clean ace, they could even finish the whole game immediately. They don't even need to wait for another Kraken to show up. And they do have vision deep in the enemy jungle, so they can afford to do these face checks that Bruto was just doing. Oh my god, he's just bullying Arden out of there. And no one wants to engage. Arden is trying to survive it all. No one wants to engage. Finally, they caught Lance off guard. He just stuns both of them out. And Bruto goes into the gauntlet by mistake there. There's some risk of some, and 2 elements of Team Krabs is just dead. Celeste is forced to run for her life. Will she able to survive? Nope, she's not. I think they can finish the game here. They have enough damage to finish up the whole game. They even have a minion wave right there. Yep, this should be a game. It was a close match. I really think that the problem there was Cruel. They were getting some good engages, but Cruel was not having that burst damage that you expect from Cruel. And I think that was the main issue that Monster Krabs had. Other than that, they had a really good fight and a good game. Good engages. Celeste was doing a ton of damage, and not enough to kill someone off, but good enough to make a dent. I like some Celestes that you see that they just, you know, poke, but they don't really do a ton of damage. This one was actually doing a fair amount of damage. Not enough, unfortunately. So let's see how they do in game 2. What they are going to change for game 2 to set this thing differently. They have to swap sides for now, at least. I think they're forgetting to swap sides. Okay, we're ready to rumble. Game 2, Monster Krabs versus Tox Armada. Let's see if Monster Krabs can do a comeback, pretty much. They have to do better work on the draft. They were a bit out-drafted on the previous game. I mean, the Cruel pick was a good pick. They didn't execute it as well as they could have. And that was their main flaw, in my opinion, at least. Let's see what they do here now that they are on side B. Oscary banning the Lorelei. Trying to get either the Anka or the Churnwalker, I guess. See what Monster Krabs ban. They banned the Cruel. Okay. So Oscary will have to decide between Churnwalker or Anka. Bruto wants Saw. Oscary goes for Churnwalker. I would guess Parzival was gonna pick Anka. Yeah, and now they need a decent laner. Oh, they go for the Roamer first, which makes sense. Mr. Freakon will be carrying the Katarine. The Silence might do some good damage there. And now let's see, if you were Anka, how would you counter it? Bruto says Saw. Take Saw. Whenever someone shows up in your face, you just kill them. with bullets from hell. There is a stun from Catherine that might help a little bit. And Scarf is a good counter to Saw as well. So I'm curious how this will work. I'm not quite sure how Baptiste fares against the Anka. I mean, he has the potential to stun her when she does that leap, or to contain her when she's trying to get away. But won't Anka's burst damage be too much for him to be able to hang on? I guess we will have to find out. So game 2, Tox Armada won the first game. Monster Crabs have to pull something out of their asses on this game, with a Muvahid on that Scarf and Parzival on the Anka. Saw with a party hat. That's nice. All of them have hats. Oscary has the electrical thingy. Fino has the fire hat. Let's see. Saw going straight to mid, which is usual. I hope Muvahid can punish him with some Spitfires. Punish him some more, Muvahid. That's it. Another one. Just typical lane. Saw rotates down. I guess they want to secure that tree ant, middle tree ant. Managed to get it. Team Red forced to playing carefully. Well, they can't let this Saw snowball. That's the main reason. Oh, nice double chain from Oscary, and it's already first kill. First blood. And now Bruto is in a great position to put some pressure down on this turret. Anka comes, does a little bit of a hit. Muvahid misses the Spitfire, which is bad. Gets another chain on him from the Churned Walker. Misses another Spitfire. Come on, Saw is a sitting duck. You can hit him. Bruto decides to back off. I think he wants to go clear the back camps with Fino to be the hyper carry once again on this game. Mr. Freakon is just scouting. What the hell is he doing? Is that a disconnect? Looks like a disconnect. Now he's back. Well, what the hell was he doing over there? Meanwhile, Tox Armada are clearing the middle tree end, securing that gold lead early on, already 1k ahead. Parzival is clearing his back camps slowly. No band camp, he's not a musician. Actually, Anka looks pretty good, like for a lead singer of a death metal group or something. So that could actually work. The Assassins. Spitfire connecting onto Oscary, but he needs to be careful with those chains. Chains and Saw is not a good combo. The damage really spreads a lot. And Saw has so much damage that it just gets ridiculous if your opponents are chained up by Churned Walker. Just laning phase, not much happening. Stunned by Mr. Freakon. No Spitfire follow-up, hitting on Bruto. Oscary and Fire going for some back camp steal. There's the B on Parzival. I think she will be able to get away. Ooh, nice combo with the B of Fino, of the empowered B, and the chain of Oscary. He manages to clean him out. So now Team Blue of Tox Armada is really in the lead. Just landing phase as usual. Nothing happening so far. We already have the store in the middle of the map. Little pressure on this turret, but they need to be careful of the chains of Churnwalker, not overextending. Saw finally arrives. Will it be enough to save the turret? Are they gonna trade the turret for Scarf? They're gonna lose the Scarf and not get the turret. That's what's actually gonna happen. Parsifal's forced to retreat. And Catherine also has to stick around to make sure that nothing happens. And now Bruto has a good opportunity to put some pressure on this turret. Chains were up. Scarf is coming back, trying to save the turret. Misses that Spitfire. Nice little roadie run, finishing up the Catherine. I think probably via the chains. They're going for the Crystal Sentry, cleaning up some enemy jungle. Parsifal managed to get his healing tree ants. I wonder if he's gonna rotate to steal some enemy camps. Scarf is finishing up this turret meanwhile. Yeah, seems Parsifal is gonna risk trying to steal some back camps. Oscary is controlling her though. He might arrive too late though. Yeah. So a little compensation for having losing that crystal, but nothing. Oh, nice escape from Oscary. He was by a thread and managed to use the ultimate to go over the wall. Spitfire missing Bruto once again. Roadie run connecting just barely. We're missing a minion wave to be able to push this turret properly. But Bruto is hanging on to all of the stacks. And Scarf is suddenly next to dead by some mysterious reason. I don't know where all that damage came from. Probably from the chains of the Churnwalker. Fountain popped up. Nice ultimate to escape. Fino using his ultimate also to disengage. They are in a bit of a bad position. Anka could finish these guys off, but she's afraid of the chains of Churnwalker. And Saw just cleaning up Catherine while they hesitate. They should have just engaged. Either you engage or you disengage. You don't hang around and get free damage onto you. So blue team clearly in the lead, but I mean the late game might be beneficial to Team Monster Crabs, because that Scarf is gonna start to do even more damage to the Cruel, especially with the combo of the Spitfire and Goop, which Cruel is a very easy target for. And the lack of mobility on Saw. Oh, I said Cruel. It's not Cruel, it's Saw. Anka diving in and going back out. Nice engage here. Parsifal almost gets a kill, but fails. Bruto. Wasn't Bruto, it was actually Fino. Cleaning him up. But they almost got a kill there, so that was pretty close. Now they're going for this gold miner. Yeah, Team Tox Armada is clearly in the lead, but Monster Crab still has a chance to pull out a surprise. They just need a good engage. And they still have some time until Kraken spawns, so they still have time to farm up a little bit more, prepare their late game, get those infusions ready for when it really matters. And if they get a good engage, they should be able to turn this game around. Catherine's stalling the lane. Oscary laying down some vision. We have another engage here. Nice chain from Oscary. Doesn't manage to pull anyone. Anka decides to engage. Releases ton of damage with our ultimate, but there is no follow-up from the side of Scarf, so they just decide to back off. They did leave Team Tox Armada in a very low health situation. They haven't popped the flask yet, though, so they might still be able to recover. A nice hit from Anka there, manages to dive in, almost gets the kill on Bruto, ends up getting herself stunned. Another stun with the ultimate from Churn, and the disengage from Baptiste, setting the tides on the side of Team Tox Armada. So nice re-engage from Tox Armada there. Once again, it seems like Monster Crabs are so close to winning the team fight, but then they just missed that little bit of damage, that better position, slightly better position, and it could be a completely different story. But it's not an overwhelming victory for Tox Armada so far. I think Monster Crabs are still in the game. They still have a good chance of winning those Kraken fights and getting the game. Back to farming. Let's follow Oscuri for a little while. Oscuri laying down some vision. Bruto with a very risky position move. Using a roadie run to reposition himself. Not really working. Anka is forced to go back. Uses her ultimate to escape. Is that enough? Oof. Fountain has to be popped to save the Anka now. Catherine in a bad position. She goes down. Bruto will clear this wave. Use the road runner to make his way into the Crystal Sentry. And this will be another free Crystal Sentry for Team Tox Armada. They could even also put some pressure on the gold miner. Force Team Monster Crabs to attack. They might lose a turret in return though, because Scarf is way up there, putting some pressure. He's gonna recall now. He knows he's a bit out of position. Tox Armada should have enough time to get this gold miner. Anka shows up. She just gets stunned. Catherine shows up, but not enough. She's gonna get herself killed. That's what's gonna happen. Pops the Crucible there, trying to sustain herself, but another stun from the B. Too much crowd control from the side of Team Tox Armada for Team Monster Crabs to deal with. Let's take a look at builds real quick while they reposition themselves. Scarf going for Spellfire and Broken Myth, missing a Clockwork there. And both of them are doing Crystal, so that's a little bit of an issue, but I mean, they were forced to do double Crystal. Mr. Freecon only has Crucible and Fountain, but one Crucible is not enough to stop three items of crowd control that the kit from the side of Team Tox Armada has, with both the B, the C of Final, and also the ultimate from Churn. Another forced engage here. Anka is forced to get away immediately. I think they might need more defense because they get 2 hits and they're forced to back away. So maybe a little bit of defense could be what the doctor ordered for them to stay in the fight. Catherine getting caught out of position once again. She just doesn't have enough tools to extract herself from the situation. Too much stuns. Parzival getting chained up, is forced to pop the boots to get away. Looking for a re-engage, ends up being slowed by the A of Saw. Scarf is doing some damage, but not enough. He's not sending enough spitballs. He needs that Clockwork. Send out more spitballs, do more damage. Because you see that Tox Armada is often low on health, but they just don't get finished off. Churn. Just killing some time there. Enough for his teammates to secure the jungle camps. They need to call back and deal with this mini wave that's pushing here. This will give some room for Team Monster Crabs to finally get their jungle camps again. Try to prepare for the Kraken fight, which is coming in 45 seconds. This is looking very good for Monster Crabs. They already lost the first game, and they're looking pretty under the weather right now. Spitfire hitting there. Let's follow the churn. Sure, we are in the middle of the fight. What's Catherine doing? She's pushing the lane, forcing Team Tox Armada to either call back or lose that turret. Yeah, you still have time to push a little more. You might lose a gold miner, but I mean, if your teammates can't contest it, it's not you that can contest it. The gold miner does not get finished in time because Kraken spawns up. Meanwhile, Catherine's still pushing. She's getting rid of that. And Churnwalker is dangerously low. He's forced to pop the fountain to save himself. Saw is going back to deal with that minion wave and that Catherine, annoying Catherine that's up there. Wonder if they managed to catch her out. She should probably use her A now. Yep, with a Crucible at the same time to escape. Meanwhile, Scarf and Anka are finishing this Kraken. Will they be able to finish it in time? Yes, yes they will. Very lucky, or a very smart play actually, using that diversion of Catherine to really give them the advantage back into the game. I think this Kraken won't last long much. There's so much damage from the side of Team Tox Armada that they are just hitting this Kraken. Not as much as in the previous game, because Saw is not as mobile. A nice Spitfire there with Goop combo, putting down some pressure. Dive by Anka, uses the ultimate immediately, gets repositioned by the B of Baptiste. And now Catherine is back low again. Saw still wants to pursue. It's a bit too low for that though. They decide to go back, finish up the Kraken. Anka might have a kill on Bruto here. Can she kill him? No, but the Spitfire from Muhavid finally gets the first kill for Team Monster Crabs. And that payoff has got to taste good. So Monster Crabs still in the game. They're having a lot of difficulties, but they can still contest this game. They have more turrets than Tox Armada have. Tox Armada has been focusing so much on putting pressure in the jungle that they let all their turrets fall. And no longer did all their turrets fall. When they did finally went up there to contest who was pushing the turrets, they managed to lose the first Kraken. So things aren't really going in their way in terms of Kraken team fights, but they are still pretty much in the game. Mr. Freecon overextending once again. He should have learned by now not to overextend. Brutal taking the opportunity to distribute some damage. Chains are pulled back. Need to land some Spitfires. The B of Anka also doing a little bit of damage, but not enough. Bruto stealing that healing tree ant. That's going to help him recover full health. And what can Monster Crabs do now? Just wait for the next Kraken? Catherine's getting out of position again. Bruto is taking this opportunity to dive onto Scarf. Now they change into Anka. A nice ultimate to escape. Catherine is still pushing. I guess she can push. It's curious because the team fights go better when Catherine is not there. It should be the other way around. And this is forcing the team of Tox Armada to call back, deal with this minion wave. Will this expose a Kraken? Here she comes. But I don't think Team Monster Crabs will have time to secure the Kraken this time though. Especially with Catherine still hanging up there. They're going for the same tactic again. Either you go for Kraken or you go for lane. You can't be in both places at the same time. Mr. Freecon is pushing. We have a Kraken fight going on, and most of the elements from Team Tox Armada are already low. Mostly because of the Spitfires from Scarf. They managed to secure the Kraken. Scarf gets out alive. This Scarf is very dodgy. And Catherine is still pushing. She should probably recall now. Nope, she doesn't want to recall. She wants to keep pushing. She has a minion Candy on her side. She can kill at least one more turret. I mean, she's just giving free kills to the enemy anyways. Might as well push some turrets. Scarf is a much better protector. Oh, now he gets stunned up. The Beefarm, but he's just dead. He's just dead. And now Catherine does have to call back, or they're about to lose this game. Anka is way too squishy, and she dives in even. That was a very risky dive. What is Catherine doing? Come on, don't go into the middle. Yep, and it's GG. I mean, it was an interesting tactic to split up the teams, leaving Scarf to do the protection, and Catherine was keep pushing the lane, but I keep feeling that maybe Catherine should have been doing more damage for that to work. But it kind of worked. At least it worked for the first Kraken. It didn't work as well for the second one. And unfortunately, that's where we are. 2-0 win for Team Tox Armada. Thank you for playing Monster Crabs. You played a good game. Both games, they were challenging. So congratulations on that. Let's move back to the lobby for the time being. Okay, so that was it for the first game of this evening, Monster Crabs versus Tox Armada. We might have other games coming up next. Let me check on chat if there's anyone available. Let's try to get another game. So apparently Lizards will be fighting in about 30 minutes, which is not now. Let's see if there is another game before then. Might have Bruto actually joining us on the call for Pretty One. Or apparently no, he has to eat dinner first. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, do we have any other games right now? Checking. I think X-Dragon LX was asking about games as well, and Nightmare. I think think Nightmare is already playing though, or already played the games. Should probably remove the team names here. It's gonna be other teams next. I'm still asking Discord chat if there's any other games pending. If anyone has any games or knows of one that is coming up on the next few minutes, let me know and I can cover that on the live stream. Okay, we seem to be having a game. Okay. Not quite sure on the name of the teams. Let's see if I can spot it. We should have another game soon. Just waiting for the invitation. He said 5 minutes. So if you need to go take a wee or get some food or something like that, now is the time to do so. And we will have another game quite soon. Just waiting for an invitation. Like, people keep asking me what's my in-game name and what's my Twitch name. It's all PS enough. It's all the same. It's the same everywhere. It should start the next 5 minutes, Bruto. I hope, but you know, these things always get delayed somehow. Okay, I'm getting the invitation. If you want to join me for commentating, Bruto, you should speak now or forever be silent, because they're about to invite me to the game. It would be cool to have you at least for the first game. Okay, I'll invite you on Discord and ask them to invite you on the game chat. Hold on a second. Well, you have to pick up on Discord. Hey, Bruto, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes. Perfect.
Okay, I hear you as well. Be aware that you are already on the stream. You probably want to mute it. I'll tell the guys to invite you.
That I probably want to what?
You probably want to mute the stream, otherwise you'll hear echoes.
Yeah, I'm having this one. I only have this one. Hey, who do I need to add?
They're going to add you. Should be XX Dragon Hell. That's adding you. Just ask them to add you. So we can talk a little bit about your game. How was it? I was surprised you weren't playing Lance on the first game. You're supposed to play Lance every single time.
you saw me play Spain against Netherlands, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I'm usually a jungler in 5v5, and I like Lance a lot. But I joined this team like at the last moment because I didn't have other team. And Fine is the jungler, so I asked him if he wanted to play jungler, and he said he prefers it, so I just went lane.
Okay, fair enough. You guys were doing like a hyper carry kind of thing. You were the main damage dealer on both.
I think that the meta in 3v3 is mostly playing hyper carries.
Yeah,
like,
especially with all the new defensive items that showed up. I think you are a bit forced to do hyper carry.
Yes, like in Lorelei, for example, I think the problem is that a lot of heroes have abilities that are designed for 5v5 because the map is longer. But in 3v3, since the map is quite small, like those abilities are way too overpowered. Like Lorelei speed.
Yeah.
If you fight like on a choke point, you can use the beyond the whole area. So
yeah,
you can slow the whole enemy team, and that's so good.
We're regulating the volumes a little bit here, so people hear less of the game and hear more of you. So guys on the chat, let me know if the volumes are all right, or if I should tweak them a little bit more. Still waiting for the enemy team, which they don't know the name of, but I know that it's Black Wolves on side A. So that should help me figure out who is on side B.
Black Wolves.
Yeah. Black Wolves. Let's take a look at the thingy thing. Black Wolves. AlphaCureTeamUp. Oh, I did a game from them yesterday, so I know them a little bit already.
Nice. I don't know the teams by the name. maybe I know the players.
Yeah, that's the problem with team names. I wonder if they know that they're supposed to be playing at this hour because they haven't showed up.
Oh.
Enemy player now message 30 minutes later. Yeah. Does that mean that the game is delayed or what?
I guess so. If it's 30 minutes later, I don't know if I can comment.
Okay.
Maybe I'll see.
Okay. And
but I mean, I can commentate any other game that doesn't like that is not my game.
Yeah, it seems that the game is going to be delayed. The other team can't make it right now. They want to play 30 minutes later. So I guess that's it for now. Let me try to find another game maybe. But you have to go eat dinner, right? So we probably won't be having you as commentator.
It will be in 25 minutes, so if you can find a game now, it's okay.
Okay, let's see.
Game shouldn't be longer than 20 minutes, so. Like, our game before went like 20 minutes because we had an early game comp. So we didn't finish for early game.
Like, everyone wants us to cover their games, and then when we are waiting for a game, there's no one with games ready.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh well. Well, let's give them a couple of minutes.
Okay. Do you know when Team France are playing? I think they are one of the...
They won earlier today. I saw them... I think you're talking about historical or historically or whatever they're called. Historic Esports. They played yesterday's match this morning. They won, and now they're supposed to play against Navi. And I don't know when that game is supposed to be, to tell you the truth.
I think they are called Team France. I'm talking about Coca-Cola and NB2.
So that's another team. I thought you were talking about Zhang Jiao and Mr. Fresher.
Nah, not them.
Okay, so there is no Team France here. Where did you get those names?
I don't know. I thought they were in.
I don't see them. I don't see them anywhere.
Maybe they are on Historic Esports. I don't know. Sorry.
Maybe they already lost?
Nah, that's impossible.
Maybe they just... a Cyclone didn't play at all. They just couldn't play or something. So... Kroll says they're getting ready. I don't know if Ipontano... 30 minutes or less. Okay, that's pretty much the same as these guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're screwed. No games right now.
It's fine if you want. Like, I can come in like 50 minutes or something. Maybe I can commentate the second game.
Okay, I'm gonna close the stream for now, and when I have another game ready, I'll ping you, and maybe you're available, maybe not, and we'll see.
Yeah, okay, just message me on Discord.
Okay, bye-bye, take care,
Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Bye, see you.
I guess I can leave this on while we wait games. I mean, I can take off the headphones and mute the microphone and just wait. And you guys on the chat can either just wait or, you know, check Discord chat. I'll re-announce on Discord chat whenever I start the new game again. So be right back, guys.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they are ready now. So can you join the game to be invited to...
Yep. Is it the same game as it was before?
Yeah, same game. Like the guys were away and just the moment we are tired of waiting, they decide to actually show up.
Okay. I'll present it.
Okay, good luck, have fun. Let's have some game.
Yeah.
So Bruto, I'll do play-by-play and you do analysis. Is that okay?
Okay.
Do you know what that means? Like, I cover when the action happens and then I ask you for, you know, your insight on what happens and how they could either prevented it or, you know, play better in the future.
That's good.
Okay, so...
The app or something?
Yeah, you can commentate the draft. You know more of draft of 3 versus 3 than I do. So what do you think of that Anka ban? Pretty typical ban.
It's pretty good because, in my opinion, the two most overpowered picks in 3 versus 3 are, well, the three, more of it, are Anka, Chunwalker, and Lorelei. So
Lorelei, not Vox? I think people ban Vox a lot.
I think that the best laner is TP this. No, it's much better than Vox. Because in a 1v1 he does more damage. In general. On a long team fight maybe Vox would scale more, but like in general it is with Vox, yeah. They went for it. And probably they will go for either Chunwalker or Lorelei, most likely.
Yeah.
Like Chunwalker, they want to invade early game, Lorelei for late game.
No, they're going for Arden.
Arden is not bad, but I don't think he's the best of 3 versus 3. I don't know.
It depends if you want to do a hyper carry or not, but Arden has a lot both of crowd control and the shield helps you last longer, so...
Yes, it's definitely helpful. I just think that Lorelei is kind of like Arden, but with some more PC in general. That makes her a little bit better. Vegeta. Okay. Vegeta pick is like quite strong in early game, so they may be looking to invade early game in jungle. That's cool.
Oh, a little bit of a misclick there. Someone left. Maybe iDate Cruel had some connection issues.
Well, it's that they misclicked the exit match.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot, but yeah, you have to do same picks now.
Like they put it like near the skins, and everyone selects a skin, so sometimes
Yeah.
you just click.
Yeah, that has been happening a lot. I've been telling on the stream, guys, that stop doing that. That's not the skin change. That's the exit match button.
It also happens in competition, like the WESG of continent. Also happen quite a lot.
Same picks. Res are rounding up. I think Team A is a little bit too squishy, don't you think?
Oh my god, again. I think so, but like they are gonna look to just start engage with Lyra Portal, and Vegeta is an assassin, so they're gonna try to burst down the enemies.
Was Dragon Hell, that's fucked up.
Has better comp for now. If they ended up with a like they could go a lot of things. Like they could go for a Lorelei for double protection, or maybe go like an Alpha to have good early game. They could pick a lot of things. But for draft, I think it's better time side B for now.
They feel too squishy to me. And
Ooh,
Team AlphaCure thinking maybe Fortress. I think that would be a little bit risky. Black
Okay,
Feather. And wrong button again.
Yeah, like basically side B is going for a super aggressive compo. It is a Black Feather and two assassins. Which is good because side A is squishy.
Yeah, Black Feather will really be able to dive very quickly inside and do a ton of damage to the side of Team A. So I think that was a good pick. And Black Feather is pretty good on 3 vs 3. It lost a bit on the meta on 5 vs 5, but on 3 vs 3 it still stays pretty strong.
Yes, that's true.
We used to see a lot of Black Feather on competitive 3 vs 3 play, I remember.
I don't know if it's gonna be weapon or TP though. I would say TP this is the best. So probably Black Feather going weapon. I'm not totally sure though.
I'm just happy that no one exited the match this time.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, so Black Wolves versus Alpha Team Cure Up. Here we go. And the game is underway on the Alcyon Fold.
Yes. Okay, seems like it's TP Black Feather.
Yeah, looks CP Black
But like,
Feather.
thinking this build, most likely he will go CP too. I think maybe for an alternating current. Yeah, we'll have to see.
That would be risky though. It would help Team A to just build Aegis on all of them and have a lot of sustain. So
That's stupid. Like I've actually tried double TP comps and they work totally fine.
it works
Especially with
fine
TPs.
if your enemies don't do Aegis or shield protection early on. Then it works fine. But if they go for the Aegis, even double Aegis, then you usually well, it depends on the heroes, of course. See the fight for the middle tree end. No one seems to want to start the engage. Reza getting a little bit of a poke to the Arden there. Chakra flying.
Black Wolves should have the early advantage here, I think. Because of the Geta.
Yeah, Alkaline is saying on the chat that he should do the hybrid Idris. Have both weapon and crystal path. First skirmish and Reza goes down. He overextended a little bit, paid for his sins, and now Vox is sent running. Poke from Blackfeather missing there, but they should be able to steal these back camps away.
About hybrid Idris, like it's actually good. But like I would go for 3 CP items and then just 1 weapon item to get weapon passive. Maybe a spell sword as item with weapon infusion. I will unlock the passive. And for the CP items I will go alternating Dragon Eye and Broken.
I wonder, is Poison Shiv enough to trigger? I think you need Poison Shiv and weapon infusion to trigger both paths, no?
It used to be like that because it used to be 100 weapon power to get the passive. Now it's 120. And I think Poison Shiv and Weapon Infusion give 105 or 110.
Okay, so you need another weapon item that gives a little more damage.
That's why Poison Shiv probably isn't the best on this now.
Mr. Law going very low here. He's risking death. Survives by a slimmer. He still wants to keep farming though. Resonance Louses by Bye Man. Not enough to finish him off.
Blackfeather is doing a good job of constantly invading the jungle and getting an advantage.
Ooh, Vox going very low here. Can the Arden finish him off? No. Meanwhile, we have a skirmish between Reza and a Blackfeather. They just poke each other and go back. Mr. Tico also going very low.
That was close.
And Master Law managing to resist all that pressure early on and being able to farm all that he wanted to farm. So good job from Master Law, keeping himself in the match.
Also, the how's the team be called? AlphaCure, no?
AlphaCureTeamUp.
Okay. Well, AlphaCure team is doing a good job with the vision because when Ardan was so low, they had vision on the both lane bosses. So he didn't get ganked, that was good. And they also have a camera on the enemy side jungle, so they know where the Geta is and if they can invade jungle or not.
Yeah. Or just catch Reza off guard.
Yes.
It's gonna be an interesting match. They seem to be very like same leveled, not one team overpowering the other.
From what I think, AlphaCure team seems to be a little bit better, but not that much. So can go either way.
Full team up in the lane, trying to catch someone off guard. Ooh, great poke by that Blackfeather. It's doing tons of damage. Idris going low, but Reza is forced to back off. If they engaged both at the same time on the same hero, they would be able to finish him off. Some poke from Vox. Resonance bounces, not enough. Ooh, Reza almost killing that Blackfeather. Not enough to finish him off once again.
He can tell the basic attack animation. That's why he didn't kill him.
Reza took the opportunity to steal that health tree ant from the enemy jungle. And those potatoes as well.
Oh, it seems like Black Wolves are gonna go double TP. So.
Yeah, Vox is building some CP items as well.
The idea is, I think, because TP Vox is especially good against melee, and they kind of have triple melee comp.
Yeah. And you can just hang back and have those resonance bounces do the damage, and then Reza dives in to finish people off. Master Law with a nice chakra, but he's already low just from the resonance bounces alone from Vox. But yeah, they will need to start investing in some shield early on, otherwise they risk a lot.
Blackfire went for double shield, that's pretty good, because it's gonna help him a lot on team fights.
Reza's stealing some more back camps. He might get a bit caught out of position here. No, he decides to back off. That's smart. Is Black Panther doing the chase? They sort of want the chase. Just trying to get those potatoes. Didn't quite get them. Reza managed to secure them in the end. Rotate back up into the jungle, trying to catch Vox off guard. Nice sigil from Lyra there, preventing Black Feather from doing more damage than he did. Master Law very, very low, forces the fountain out of Arden. They're still putting some pressure on this turret. They want to have it. It's all peaceful. It's all good. There's some healing for you, Vox, my man. Black Feather rotates back down to get his jungle. Reza just does some poke. Chakra does most of the farming. Ooh, nice Reza dive. Idris so low. Manages to use the ultimate to stay alive, but Reza finishes him off. Also, Black Feather takes out the Vox and only Lyra stays alive.
Blackfire did a good job getting an infusion because he knew they were going to team fight, and infusions on level 8 are like better than crystal power in general.
Yeah.
He got it so that they could win the team fight.
So both laners in a very squishy format right now. Seems the junglers are dominating this matchup so far. Lyra trying to hold the lane a bit more. She might be a little bit out of position. Uses the portal to get back out. Should be safe. Have a full gold miner in the center. No team has dared to start it up yet. Here comes Reza. Joins to the fray, loses the ultimate, tries to kill Idris and succeeds. Another trade for trade. Black Feather also dies this time, so now the advantage is for Team Black Wolves. Only Arden alive, and he doesn't have that much health. I don't think he can secure this turret. Will they dare to go for the gold miner? I don't think so. Just cleaning those back camps, do the potatoes, and rotate back home. Take a look at builds really quick. Vox finished with the alternating current and the broken myth already, so quite a good possession. Master Law going for the Sorrow Blade and the Poison Shiv. That Black Feather has double Aegis, which is good considering the team opposition. We have a little skirmish going on. Idris going low. Arden stays up to get the aggro out of the enemy team. Master Law sending out some fraction. An interesting gauntlet there, going a bit low. Reza overextends a little bit. Idris uses the ultimate to get away. And everything's safe. Nice team fight for the side of Team C. Vox tries to clean up, manages to get Idris with those resonance bounces. Or actually, Lyra ended up getting the Idris kill. But all of the elements were very low.
Lyra could have killed Blackfire, I think, if she went aggressive. But she was a bit scared.
But she doesn't have any real damage. She's just healing support. If she had like a Storm Crown, she probably could have gotten them as well.
Yeah. So depends. Like Blackfire was like 15% health, so maybe an A and 2 basic attacks would have done the work.
Reza is doing some good dives, but he just seems to die very quickly as well. Like at least he's getting one element at the same time while he dies, but. I don't know. I fear for the future.
At least tier 1 defense.
Yeah. A good build on the side of Blackfeather, though, doing those 2 shield items to have some extra protection on the against the crystal damage.
Yes, that's quite good.
Reza finishing the Shatter Glass.
I actually think he should have gone Spellfire because they have no Mortal Wound. Because Idris is gonna get healed with the Poison Ship, and Arda and Vanguard will also get...
Another engage. Idris going very low. He has to use the ultimate to get away. But Team Red seems to be doing a lot of comeback. Idris immediately gets squished again. It seems like Blackfeather isn't doing any damage though. Idris is running away, trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Blackfeather isn't doing enough damage to compensate for the fact that Idris is running away from the fight most of the time. And so this time the advantage goes to Team Blue. They're going to get this gold miner and also steal some back camps away from this fight. So they seem to be in the lead right now, Bruto.
Yes, I think that the team fights are being more coordinated coming up from Team A, from Black Wolf, because the Greta is diving the targets. Like if Team B, Idris and Blackfeather dive a single target together, maybe box, like they would be able to kill him, but they are not doing it. That's the problem.
Idris is so squishy that Idris doesn't have time to target anything, he just dies.
Yeah, probably Ardan should give the Vanguard to him, and he should time his ultimate to dodge Greta ultimate or Greta's basic attack or something.
I would just say more defense. I mean, put some Aegis on to take away some of that burst damage from Reza, maybe.
He should go for Slumbering, in my opinion, just because like Team A also has a lot of burst damage, so a Slumbering would prevent most of the damage coming up. And they don't have that much CT to need a block urgently.
Yeah, that's true. Slumbering Husk is the go-to item against assassins, and Reza is typically an assassin, so...
Yeah. And his build is also super damage oriented, like he has zero defense.
Nice poke from Team Red. Reza is double thinking if he should dive or not. Gets the heal from Lyra. Both teams just checking each other out. They don't really want to commit to that team fight. They know it's gonna be deadly, very fast. Reza going in, Lyra with the portal, using the ultimate, now hitting Blackfeather instead of Idris for the first time. Both of the elements going low. Idris using the ultimate finishes Arden off, or Vox off. Arden used with a nice gauntlet to the end. Reza doesn't quite manage to finish Blackfeather off. So the main difference here was that they targeted Blackfeather first, and that was what backfired.
I think that also the Atlas of Ardan was quite useful because Vox was Atlased and he couldn't do that much damage in the team fight. And the fact that Idris now has tier 2 TP defense that he didn't have before.
Another skirmish here between Idris and Reza. Reza uses the ultimate to get away. The Kraken has risen. It's time to buy some infusions and prepare yourself for the most important team fight of your lives. Rez is still a bit outside. Of course, there's the B out of Lyra there. Both teams very careful, just laying down some vision. Arden goes there to clean it up. You can push this lane a little bit and force blue team to go back up. Here comes Reza. It's the A on Arden, has to force away. Nice dispersal of the team fight. The portal goes back into the top, leaves Vox alone, 1 versus 3. He's not attacking. He should be attacking. If you're getting your ass kicked, at least do some damage. And it's a nice, clean fight for... that portal from Lyra actually took them away from the fight and left Vox completely exposed. That cost them the Crystal Sentry right there.
Yeah.
They don't seem to want to go for the Kraken though.
Probably they could have taken the Kraken, this in my opinion, because before box was up, and if they lie down and get engaged, they could have taken a team fight. But they prefer to take it safe, so that's also okay.
Arden goes back there, puts some more vision on. I think Arden did contraption, so is putting out mines everywhere. Which is good against the Reza, I mean. It's helpful.
Yeah, having vision control is quite helpful.
Black Wolves just doing some poke on the Kraken, just to see if anyone responds. AlphaCureTeamUp forces the rotation up to lane to take care of this minion wave. Not much happening down there in the jungle though, just more vision spread out and rotating back up. Let's see if we have a team fight engage here. Reza hits the A onto Blackfeather. Seem to be engaging but very cautiously. Backtracking a lot. I mean, the red team should be the one engaging right here. They should be diving onto that Fox to kill them off. And they seem to be very scared of doing that. They're always waiting to be engaged upon.
Actually, if Team B, Team Alpha engages, and Team A plays it well, they could go outside of the goblet with Lyra portal, and TP Box can kite back.
We have another team fight going on here. Ultimate from Adris, not doing enough damage. Vox manages to lay down those crits. Adris stays alive by a little miracle of some sort, and I didn't even see Reza die. That's how fast he died. And it's gonna be another Crystal Sentry for Team Red.
And should be a Kraken also.
So that was bad position from the side of the blue team. I mean, Arden was chasing Reza clearly, so why didn't they rotate properly onto that?
I also think that Vox could have played a bit better, like he kind of cancelled some of his basic attacks that denied a lot of damage. Like
and now it's a Kraken.
Nice escape from Lyra.
They can still contest this Kraken. Actually, some of the teammates of the red team have to call back just because they're too low on health. So this Kraken can be pretty much taken down very fast.
Yeah.
All the 3 members of Black Wolves are there. Push him out.
Team AlphaCure should be pushing with the Kraken to take at least 1 tower.
Yeah. They arrive now. Idris is already low. How the hell is he low? He hasn't recovered from the previous team fight yet. Arden getting a bit off guard. Lays down a gauntlet, hits the Vox, tries to follow up. There's no really engage from Master Law and I Date Cruel though. They just want the Kraken to do the job. Little poke damage there. Vanguard to get away. Reza on the chase, but he double thinks it. No, let's finish the Kraken first. Okay, disengage happening. Not much else. Still, the two teams seem to be very head-to-head, so anything can change. It depends a lot on the engagement. And Team Red seems to be so careful with the engagements. They don't seem to want to be having the first dive. They want to catch someone making a mistake first.
Yes. Actually, now that Vox has completed Dragon Eye, I think they have much bigger chances of winning the team fights. If they play it well. If the Vox can kite well enough.
Yeah, Vox has been lasting a long time on these team fights, so he should be doing a lot more damage now on these team fights.
If I were him, I would go for an Aegis, just to have a block, some more extensions. I think he's gonna go for a 4th offensive item, but that's not gonna be good enough. Because if you get Dragon Eye, you don't usually go for a 4 damage item. Because Dragon Eye has more damage than any other item in the game, if the team fight goes long enough.
A lot of vision from the red side team. It's gonna help them secure the good position for this next Kraken. Should be spawning the next couple of minutes. And Team Blue is just waiting. Black Wolves just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, they are just waiting for the Kraken. That's what usually happens in 3 versus 3 most of the game, when they are kind of equal. Like, you just wait for Kraken and do a team.
Okay. Another Vanguard. Atreus ultimate to reach out. Goes into Vox. Vox manages to run away. Can he do enough damage? Nope. He dies first. And Reza is sending himself on the back foot as to use the dash, but to run away. I don't think he will be able to take out this Idris. And this is going to be a nice win for the side of Team Red. The Kraken's not back up yet, so what are they going to do? They're going to do this back camp, maybe the Crystal Sentry? No, they're going for the Kraken. Kraken showed up now. Arden is on the Crystal Sentry, just taking some aggro, maybe dragging Lyra back in. Kraken is already close to being captured, done being captured.
Arden was just making some time because he doesn't do any damage to the Kraken.
Yeah, distracting Lyra. And did a good job. Chakra there preventing the recall from Lyra. And this should be a decisive team fight. If there is an ace here, at least for the side of the red team, if they get an ace, they should probably be able to finish the game with this Kraken pushing down. Let's see what happens. Reza laying down
even
some
if
A.
they get like one kill or two, maybe they could even win.
Yep.
Because they don't have a lot of damage of objective damage.
Vox getting those stacks up. 8, 9. Refocusing on the Kraken. A nice portal there. Confusing the elements of Team Red. And that might be enough to allow the Team Blue to finish off this Kraken. So nice little portal there.
The problem was that they stayed too close to the minions, I think, and then TP Box took a lot of damage, did them a lot of damage, without even being close.
Mm-hmm. Now we have to wait for one more Kraken.
Yeah, it seems like this will be a long game.
Mm-hmm. Check out the builds real quick. Yeah, Vox ending up doing an Eve of Harvest as his last item. Might help him stay a bit longer on the team fights, but I don't know. The side of the Team Red has a lot of burst damage on it. I think Krul is doing a third shield defense item. I guess it's gonna last a long time on those team fights. It's gonna be an interesting match.
I would have probably went for a Slumbering Husk instead of the second Aegis. Because the block of the Aegis doesn't stack, so he only has one block.
Yeah.
And the Slumbering also gives a good amount of TP.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have probably went for a broken meat instead of the pair of defense.
Nice gauntlet coming down, stuns three members of Team Blue. They're going for the engage there. Vox getting down those stacks, but he's getting chased down by that Black Feather who has a lot of shield defense. Everybody's still alive by some miracle. Idris pops out. Idris almost dead, but manages to kill Vox out first. Everyone in the sliver of health, but somehow Team Red is the one that has a clean ace up, and they're going to try to finish up the game. They don't even care about the minions. They're just going for the base.
The spawn times are good.
Yeah, 40 seconds should be well enough for them to clean up the game. But very close team fight. It felt like the blue team almost had it. Everyone was like in the sliver of health. Yeah,
I just think that Team B had a better comp in general because Black Feather and Idris do more damage than Vox and Agatha. And Lyra is so squishy also.
Yeah, too much squishiness on the side of the blue team, but a very good game.
Yeah, definitely.
So congratulations to AlphaCureTeamUp. They win the first game. Let's see what happens on game number 2.
I'm going to have to leave now.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Bruto. And I hope you can join us again in another stream later on, or tomorrow.
Any other time that you want me to commentate, just let me know.
Okay, I'll
if I have time. Okay, see you.
Awesome. Bye-bye, take care. Master Law is restarting his network, apparently. Hope that helps. But we still have one more game to go on this match of Black Wolves versus AlphaCure team. I'm very curious how this will turn out. It was a very close matchup the previous game. And we are underway. Hopefully no one tries to get the skin and exits the game by mistake. See the usual bans, Vox getting banned first. Seems that team AlphaCure didn't really like that Vox on the previous match. Let's see what Black Wolves ban in response. Probably the Cruel or the Anka. They go for the Anka. That leaves Cruel open for I date Cruel. How can you date yourself? That feels like a bit Inception-like. Or perverted. X-Dragon Hell is going for the Tony. And Bye Bye Man is considering the Lance. A Lance against the Cruel is a good response. I mean, you can shove him away from your core hero, damage dealing hero. The Tony also has a lot of CC. We have seen a lot of teams trying to use Tony CC on 3 versus 3 to help a hyper carry push through. Hasn't worked all the time that we've seen it, but it has happened, so it can happen again. Team AlphaCureTeamUp seems to be going for the Arden and rounding things up with either the Samuel or the Scarf. I would go for Scarf, but that's me. Scarf indeed. Last pick is going to be Celeste. And hopefully no one tries to get the skin and exit the game by mistake. And we can get the second game underway. Here we go. Game loading. And we're back in the Alcyon fold for another game. The second game of this matchup of Black Wolves versus AlphaCureTeamUp. I always get the name mixed up. I always call them Alpha Team or AlphaCure. Well, AlphaCure is correct, I guess. Alpha Up would be wrong. Maybe I should just call them Alpha. Alpha versus Black Wolves. Seems that Team Black Wolves is going straight for the middle tree end. Arden is there to scout things up, maybe try to steal that mid tree end. He gets rooted though. No, he barely dodges it. Will he get the middle tree end? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Celeste actually got that. I thought that empowerment shield from Arden had stolen it, but it had not. Just farming stage, nothing particular going on. We might want to take a look at the builds, although they're pretty obvious. I'm guessing Scarf and Celeste going for Crystal, and Cruel and Tony going for Weapon. Yep, nothing spectacularly revolutionary going on. Just your standard laning phase. Tony trying to get stunned there. Celeste helps him a little bit with that core collapse. Now both elements of Team AlphaCureTeamUp are a bit low on health and have to be a little more careful. Scarf missing a little bit of CC there. To nothing to really set him back. Dragon Hell overextending, manages to stun I win with the core collapse. and now gets a Spitfire in his face to compensate. Meanwhile, Cruel was stealing away some back camps from Team Black Wolves. Black Wolves did manage to secure the military end though in response, so not that much a difference in terms of gold, both of them reaching the 5k mark now. Dragon Health very low, but Awin might have overextended, does get the trade though, so I guess that's worth it. A roam for a carry. Scarf recalls before he gets an impale in his face, that's always a good tactic. Let's follow this lance for a little bit. Game stalled a little bit there while I was swapping windows, sorry about that. Just typical laning, not much to talk about right now. Guess we can follow Scarf for a little while. Cruel seems to be contesting the middle tree end on his own. Will he be able to take it? Yes, he will. They gets a core on his face. Now an impale. He might not get out alive of this one. He tries to re-engage. Arden is there to help him keep safe or to chaperone him back to safety. While Scarf takes this wonderful opportunity to destroy the first turret. So a little bit of a mistake from Black Wolves there. They wanted to punish the Cruel, but they overextended a little bit. Didn't get the kill and ended up losing a turret in response. And you know how important the first turret is on 3 versus 3 matches, because it opens up the whole of the enemy jungle to you. You can do a lot more safer rotations to steal those healing camps or those potatoes from the enemy jungle. Cruel cleaning up some vision. He's going for the back camps. He just seen them being taken, so decides to back off. We now have a shop in the middle of the map. Tony going for Serpent's Mask for first item. So he wants some sustain in him. Let's take a look at what's happening in the lane. So normal farming. Lance and Tony see if they can catch someone off guard. Cruel waiting for a nice opportunity to gank someone. The vision there will help clear out that camera. Tony securing his own back camps on the jungle. So not much of a lead for Team AlphaCureTeamUp. They have a 1k lead, but nothing overwhelming on the start of this game. Spitfires flying, not connecting. Cruel dives in, doesn't really get anything out of it. Arden gets a stun for his troubles. Just a couple of trades, not really doing that much damage. They need to buy some more offensive items before we see some real carnage going on the Halcyon Fold. They have a bit of an opportunity to get this gold miner, but it's not really full yet, so it might not be worth the risk. Cruel just decides to take his back camps. They try to push this gank on Celeste, which barely escapes alive. If she had been ganked there by Cruel's ultimate, she would have been dead. Gets a Spitfire on her face. Lance replies with an impale. She's gonna need a reflex block though, against either the Gauntlet of Arden or the Ultimate of Cruel. So she should probably start considering it. Tony shopping a little bit. Cruel finishing his Sorrow Blade, so he really wants burst damage, which seems smart. Wants to burst that Celeste very quick and then focus around either on Tony or Lance. Lance will try to put him out of position all the time. Nice bada boom from Tony there, disengaging a team fight that seemed to be a little favoring the side of the blue team. Cruel won't let go. He's looking for more hits. Celeste very low, but Arden not able to finish her up. Mr. Tico once more. He goes in for the stun, gets gooped up, very low. Lance can't keep him safe. He tries to do an impale, but also gets stunned himself. I think this Lance will also be dead. Yes, indeed. So a bit of an overextend there by Tony, punishing his team. Core Collapse missing there. Empowerment by Arden keeps Scarp safe, and he manages to take that speed boost to finish off Celeste. Tony clearing out this wave, making sure that his turret is not under threat, while Team AlphaCure take the opportunity to finish the gold miner in the middle. A little bit of an advantage now in terms of gold, 3k advantage going for the size of AlphaCureTeamUp. So they're definitely in the front seat now. Just farming. Mr. Tico with a little rotation there. Just trying to make sure Celeste is alive. Should be focusing on his back camps, I believe, instead of hiding there. Unless he can get a good bada beam, bada boom to put Scarf out of position. But he didn't have the opportunity to do so. Arden spreading out some vision, which is important. And he's probably going to go back to clear that red mine. Yep. Cruel farming his back camps. Not a very exciting match so far. We are badly needing some re-engages. Tony is like halfway health. Nice gauntlet from Arden showing up, catching Tony, and he's forced to back out. They go on the hunt. This Scarf doesn't want to let go of Tony. Hits a fireball straight in the face of Celeste. That seemed a little bit of a disconnect there. He was flaming the sidewall instead of aiming for the enemy heroes. But that's fine. They got 2 kills out of that trade. Now gets a root from Lance, but he has to be careful. This Lance, he has the flask, but if he gets a Spitfire on his face... Ooh, now Solar Storm from Celeste, almost finishing up that Scarf. Tony picks up the leftovers, and now Cruel wants some payback. What did you do to my dear dragon? I'm gonna kill you. Mr. Tico just backs off. Lance also backs off. Celeste didn't do enough damage to carry this team fight. But a nice cleanup of Scarf there is going to put some money back in the bank of Team Black Wolves. They're only 2k behind now. They were previously 4k behind, I believe. And Dragon Hell overextending. Master Law uses boots and it will be able to finish him off. So that was a bit of a misposition from Dragon Hell. Hope he remembers that lesson and does not overextend again. Because we have a fair number of speed up abilities. Both the Vanguard from Arden and the boots from Master Law himself. Mr. Tico playing with fire there. Gets some mortal wound on him. Cruel as recalled. Is he disconnected or is he just waiting to shop something? I think he's actually disconnected. That would be a shame. Hope he comes back sometime soon. Just check out this Arden's putting some pressure on Tony. which isn't very wise. He doesn't have any damage to control it. Let's take a look at builds while we wait for Cruel to come back. Scarf going for the Force Burn and Spellfire. Cruel going for the Sorrow Blade and that item, which I don't remember the name right now. Arden prioritizing Vision, Crucible, and Fountain, which seems logical. Lance going for Atlas Pauldron, probably to counter the Cruel Sustain. And Mr. Tico doesn't have that much defense on him, as you would expect from Tony. And Celeste has no defense at all, so she's very vulnerable to a gank from Cruel or a Spitfire from Scarf. At least a reflex block, that should be worth buying. Cruel seems to be back, fortunately. Is this tower gonna last that long until the blue team rotates up, though? Nope, does not. Nice gauntlet from Arden there, though. A bada boom from Scarf sends him away. Here comes Cruel, straight into Celeste. Solar Storm rips through. Not enough to kill anyone off, and it seems that this fight is going in favor of Team Blue. 2 kills and a Lance sent running home. That bada boom putting a Scarf out of position, but not in the way you would expect him to be. You would hope that Scarf would have gone to your back end of the team fight and not into protection. This will be an easy gold miner for Team A. And Lance just won't dare to contest it. Both teams just checking out vision, clearing out some extra vision. Waiting for the late game, waiting for that Kraken to spawn. Should be in 1 minute from now. So get your infusions ready, finish your builds. It's Kraken fighting time very soon. Celeste overextending a little bit there. But Scarf doesn't give chase, so it's fine. Arden is forced to back off. Cruel is still farming his own jungle, so we shouldn't really overextend at this point. Red team takes the opportunity to push this lane a little bit. Here comes Cruel, straight 1 versus 3, while Arden is recalled back. The core collapse misses. Here comes the ultimate from Scarf, melting everyone. Bada boom, bada mean. Keeps them safe, but the damage has been done. Celeste has melted. They might have been able to finish off either Master Law or Cruel after that engage. But unfortunately, the bada boom, bada bean didn't work completely as expected. I mean, it kept them safe, but it didn't allow them to do any trade for them. Kraken is up, so get your infusions ready. Both Scarf and Celeste have the Dragon's Eye, so they really need to hit those peel shots early on in the team fight to get the stacks up. Lance just bought some War Treads to speed up the team fight, maybe help position Tony a bit better. Cruel seems to be disconnected again, which is a shame. He had some connectivity issues on the previous games as well, so I think that his Wi-Fi just sucks. He's back now, just in time for the Kraken fight. Let's see how this works out. Scarf taking that healing camp. Red team rotate up to push the lane a little bit. Force the blue team go back up. Cruel just decides to start this Kraken. Wants to lure the red team back down. Let's see how that works. Scarf is putting a ton of damage there. If the red team doesn't go down, it will be a free Kraken for the blue team. Core collapse on Arden works as they realize that they're taking Kraken yet. Ultimate from Cruel lands. Nice Soul Storm, and it's a free Kraken. Very well played from the blue team. Risking a little bit, but enough to get the kill. They even get a kill down onto Celeste. They lose one member. Their Scarf is gone down, but Cruel and Arden are there to keep the push going. Nice stun from Tony, trying to keep Cruel from executing Lance, and Lance just goes back into it. Recall, for fuck's sake. No, he uses the stun against the wall. Lance is feeling very confident. Nice route there, but you're just gonna die if you keep hanging around there. There we go. Ultimate from Cruel, finishing stuff off. Tony might want to get a piece of this Cruel. He does manage to get it. That will help them clear out this Kraken a little bit easier. I think both teams overextended a little bit there. Lance clearly overextended, where he should have recalled back home and come back full health, and Cruel and Arden also overextended. They should have played safer instead of dealing damage underneath both turrets at the same time. Black Wolves are reduced to their choke point turret. Not an extremely horrible situation, but they are on the back foot. They're only 1k difference in terms of gold, or actually half a k difference in terms of gold. But in terms of kills, they are very much behind, 12 to 5. As both teams are just waiting for the next Kraken to show up. Cleaning up some farm, getting some money for some more infusions. Dragon Hell wants to recall back to buy Slumbering Husk. Scarf also buys a Slumbering Husk. Last getting a bit caught off guard here. Set on the run. He is forced to use the Crucible to get away from that gauntlet from Arden. Bada boom, a bit useless there. Our Lance is very low. Tony got sacrificed to save the Lance of a very bad engage in terms of for Team Black Wolves. They were caught out of position there, and Tony ended up paying for Lance's mistake. 1 versus 1 Celeste versus Scarf. Who is going to win? Scarf seemed to have the upper hand, but then suddenly Celeste started doing a ton of damage. Arden comes to the rescue to help finish off Celeste. A very lucky Scarf there. Without an Arden, you would be nothing. Nothing. Lance is left alone, waiting for his Tony to show back up. And these times for the respawn are starting to become longer and longer. AlphaCureTeamUp will have a chance to start up this Kraken. Will the red team arrive in time? They have seen this scenario before. They don't seem very concerned. Yeah, they will just defend against the Kraken. They don't want to risk it 2 versus 3. That might be a wise decision considering the composition on the sides of AlphaCureTeamUp. Masalaw putting down some Spitfires. Some free stacks for his Dragon Myth, for his Dragon's Eye. The Dragon Heart also wants some stacks, but it's not hitting anything. Crystal Sentry doing a little bit of damage. This Lance is getting caught out of position. Manages a good stun there. Has to use the protection against Cruel, but we're left with a 2 split. Tony is left for dead, 1 versus 2. And meanwhile, on the other end, Cruel manages to kill Celeste, and this might be the end of the game. Lance once again getting a bit mispositioned. He's trying to finish off this Scarf now. Arden with a good empowerment, leaving Scarf vulnerable. They managed to get him in the end, but Cruel and the Kraken are already at the enemy base. So I think this is the game for the side of AlphaCureTeamUp, and this is the second game, so they win this series. Congratulations to AlphaCureTeamUp for securing the win against Team Black Wolves. Nice competitive game, both of them. So a good series. Thanks for those matches. Good match. Or a good game, rather. I'm not sure if there is any other games happening. I will have to check. I'm getting a bit tired from streaming as well, so I do not know if it's worth waiting for one more game. yeah, I think it is the end of the stream. Already covered 2 games. That's enough for now. Hope you guys had fun with the games, and we'll be back probably tomorrow for a couple more streams covering a few more games of this tournament. We can take a quick look at the brackets. The games are not updated yet, or the results are not updated on all of the games just yet, but the tournament is coming along pretty nicely. We're having some good games so far, and we're still in the first few rounds, so interesting stuff. Hope to catch you guys tomorrow for a few more games. Bye bye everyone, take care.